Prenups and postnups, when do you need them? My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Wirth Law Office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been practicing family law for about 7 years, and I want to help you make law easy by just talking a little bit about a prenuptial agreement, a postnuptial agreement, and when and how you should go ahead and put those into effect. So you might be able to guess based on the names. A prenuptial agreement is a contractual agreement that you and your prospective spouse enter into before you get married. They can have a couple of different effects, but essentially it's an agreement that you enter into beforehand about what's going to happen if the marriage falls apart. So what assets are going to be split? What debts are going to be split? What are you bringing into the marriage that's going to stay out of the marital estate, and what's not going to be touched in the divorce case if that happens? It's a really there's two schools of thought there. Obviously, you're about to marry the love of your life. You're planning a future. You're planning on building a life together. You don't really want to think about, oh, but it could fall apart. I mean, that's a real depressing thought. The lawyer in me, though, really likes the proactiveness in, hey, so if it does go sideways, what are we going to do? There is a downside to it because obviously, things change, life changes. Maybe neither one of you want to abide by the terms of the prenup or whatever. You got to be careful in what you put in there and how you structure it so it doesn't, come up to bite you in the tail on the back end. But let's say you get married without a prenup, but you decide after the fact that you should have. You can do what's called a postnuptial agreement. It's the same thing. The only difference is really it's happening after the marriage. So let's say you and your spouse are sitting down like, hey, we just came into an inheritance and we need to be very smart with it. And maybe we just need to plan on, what we're going to do about this money in the event that we get divorced. You can do a postnuptial agreement for that. And just kind of, it takes that issue off of the table for when if, and I really hope it's an if, the divorce gets filed. Or, I've seen cases where maybe the marriage is on rocky ground, or maybe one spouse betrays the other. Postnup agreements are used in those situations as just sometimes as a way to kind of resolve the conflict. Like, hey, you messed up. We're entering into this postnuptial agreement again, so you understand what's going to happen if you messed up again. It's absolutely useful, and sometimes it's actually helpful in those situations for the marriage to reconcile. And sometimes it's really helpful just to kind of bring it back into perspective of, hey, if we decide we're going to file for a divorce, this is what we're looking at as a result. If you're in a situation where you're wanting a prenup, or you're in the middle, you're already married, but you think you might need a postnup, absolutely give us a call. We're more than happy to talk over the pros and cons of it and help you out in making that decision. My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm with Wirth Law Office, and I want to help you make law easy.